Hello, 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 and welcome. Thank you for joining. I hope everybody has their coffee or tea or whatever you're drinking. I am having coffee with my hazelnut cream. I love my hazelnut cream. Just being silly. Anyways, okay, so today we're talking about the crime stats in North America. I'm just trying to set up my other device here, clearly. My sleeve in your face, sorry. And we're doing a natural look of makeup today. Stay. Hi, Carl, how are you? Kind of a messy hair. Throw it up today. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Rosalinda Ramirez. I hope everybody's having a good day. Natural makeup look for me today. I just threw on some makeup, a little bit of lipstick, and that's it. So there you have it. I hope you guys are all having a good day. Let's jump right into the statistics. I'm okay, Carl. My back is killing me as usual, but whatever, right? Just deal with it, live with it, learn to accept it. Anyway, moving right along. Okay, so the numbers for 2019, just so you guys are all aware, aren't actually in yet. So we're going to be talking about the crime rates of 2018 and some of what's happened in 2019. It's just not marked statistically yet in the appropriate places. For instance, I noticed specifically where I live, I know for a fact that there were 3 people that died, and it's not even yet on the site. Winnipeg is showing that it has 24 murders, but in all honesty, I don't think that's correct either. That Winnipeg's been known as like the murder capital of Canada for so long. So I did a little bit of digging on North America because I know that over half my audience is from the United States. So I wanted to check in, and I did a quick calculation because it of course breaks it down in a smaller number to make it look like it's not as bad. So 1 second. I just want to grab my calculator because I have both my devices going right now. So it says that there were 79 homicides reported in the city in 2019, or 35 for every 100,000 people. Okay. Now, the population in the United States is 327.2 million. Okay. Now, when you take that number and you divide it by the 100,000, and then you multiply that by the 35, you get 114,450. Okay. So that would be the crime rate as of 2019 that was posted in the usatoday.com if you're interested in checking where I found my stats. As far as Canada goes, crime rates are going up everywhere is what it looks like, but it had peaked its highest plateau between the 60s and the 90s. Seems like we are getting a little bit of a handle on some things. Where am I at here? So now Maclean's did a really cool article, if you will, on looking at the urban centers across the country. Okay. They calculated differences between their most recent crime severity indexes and a measure used by Statistics Canada that accounts for the seriousness of crimes as well as the number. Their crime severity index is 5 years ago. While crime has fallen in Canada and North America as a whole over the past 5 years, the results show that many communities have had a very different experience. It's nice to know that I'm not living in the most dangerous part of Canada. And the most dangerous part of Canada is, drum roll please. All right, so most dangerous place in Canada is, where the heck did it go now? North Battleford, Saskatchewan. Now, if I drop that down, it says that it's raised, the crime severity index has raised 372%, and the violent crime severity index has raised 405. So that's a pretty severe increase. I wanted to particularly show you Winnipeg because I found it on here. And we are ranked 112th there, but it states 24 homicides per 1,000 population. So So 749,534 population. Divided by 1,000. Oops. All right, so Westaskin in Alberta, a town of 12,600, about an hour's drive of Edmonton, had the fastest growing crime severity index in the country by a landslide. From 2012 to 2017, Westaskin's CSI increased 100.63 points to 257.54. The comparison with Red Deer, the community with the second fastest growing CSI, saw an increase of 58.65 points over 5 years. Canada overall CSI fell 2.56 points from 72.87 over the same time period. And it's been reported that the Westasquin is, to get the story behind the numbers or whatever. So the Estevan, Saskatchewan had dropped crime severity, and the country's points went from, in 2012, to a town of 12,000, 2 hours drive northeast of Regina, 20th most dangerous place in Canada out of the 237 communities that were ranked. So today it's the 91st most dangerous with a CSI of 75.72, just 3 points higher than Canada's overall. Tell me your thoughts and whereabouts you guys are, and we can certainly look into what the crime rate is where you are if you'd like. And good afternoon. There was a lot of snow. Did anybody see my TikTok video? I can't really promote what I said because, well, I didn't even say it, but I can't really promote what it was because it's copyright. So definitely go to the TikTok if you don't mind a little bit of foul language. It's a pretty cute little Christmas jingle type thing that's switched into a whole other jingle. So I thought it was pretty funny anyway. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Salut, Yvette, ma belle. Je suis vraiment désolée que j'ai oublié de t'appeler avant Noël. Pardonnez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Vraiment occupée ici. Good afternoon, Michelle. You thought Winnipeg was bigger? No, I'm pretty sure that 800,000 is about where it was at. Would have been more murders than Battleford. Really? Yeah, no, and it's Winnipeg really ramped up because we were the murder capital of Canada for like 5 years running in the 90s. Winnipeg ramped up quite, viciously with cadets, um, bicycle police. Um, um, there were numerous companies that ramped up with security. Honestly, probably the fastest turnover I've ever seen, from going from the worst going into being okay, It's snowing in New Jersey. Aw. Well, I noticed there's some places in Newfoundland that they have so much snow right now, it's completely covered to the top of the vehicles. That's how much snow they have. I made a comment on one of the posts and I was like, Manitoba has had a lot of winters like this, so we decided we wanted to share with the rest of Canada. Just being cheesy and silly. But in all honesty, it was kind of funny because we have had a lot of winters like that where it's been so over the top snow, drifts as high as houses sometimes. Insane, right? And to see that happening in other places in Canada, not here now, it's kind of comforting. It's like, okay, maybe I am living in the right place. That's funny. Rosalinda Ramirez says, I wonder what attributes to such high crime population, migration, drugs. Is there a study? Definitely, I would lean towards the fact that most of the issues trickle around the drug community, the drug world, and the fact that when you are reliant on something, even if it's a bad habit, there are things that you would find yourself doing that you normally would probably never do, right? And I mean, I feel bad. My heart goes out for these people that are stuck and they have in their mind sort of no other way other than to commit crimes in order to feed a bad habit, right? So I understand why it's happening. I just wish there was more preventative measures, but in all honesty, folks, these problems start, in my opinion, from childhood, from things that happen that are traumatic to somebody. As they grow up, they find ways to help sort of self-medicate to relieve the pain of the crappy life that people have been through, and I've been there, you guys. I was somebody who was addicted to drugs myself. At my lowest point in 2008, I was literally doing needles, like mainlining. You know, I was at the worst of the worst of the worst at one point in my life. And I did things at that time in my life that I never would have done otherwise. And I'm not proud of some of those things in my life, but it is something that I went through, and it was stemmed because of trauma and things that happened to me in my childhood that I didn't know how to psychologically deal with. I didn't know how to even comprehend, and I didn't understand why it had to happen. And the pain of the memory constantly going and playing in my mind is definitely what created for me to go down that negative path. So I can relate and understand at the same time as it's something that we need to help from a much younger standpoint. If we wait until people are full-blown adults and they're stuck in their ways, so much so that they don't even see an avenue for change, I honestly feel like we're just going to continue going down the negative path of the crime rates rising, right? But those type of people definitely need the help, and that type of situation I don't care to admit to. Like, that was my life, that was something I went through, that was something I chose, that was something that I did. And I sought help at one point when I had lost my entire life and my entire family and all the people who were my supposed friends. When everything crashed down, that was my eye-opening moment of saying, okay, there's two ways to go here, right? I can continue down the path of destruction of myself, and that's not going to help anything. And I did continue down that path for a while, guys. I'm not even going to lie. But at one point, there was a change in my life that brought me through years of counseling. Like, I ended up in a really, really great facility that helped with managing all of those feelings. And I went through counseling for 2 years plus with one particular woman. And it really, really helped me grow within myself, take back my own power to better myself. I ended up furthering my education. I ended up leaving that lifestyle. I ended up not going and talking to the people who were a part of that lifestyle, and in fact, blocking some of them out of my life completely. Now, it didn't fully change everything. And the memories of what happened to me that were traumatic as a young person are still there. It's just not something that I choose to focus on anymore. I've moved past it. And there comes a time when you just pick your life up and say, hey, this is enough of the bad, and you create good. Now, the lowest of the low was literally homeless, literally addicted to drugs, literally like living on the streets, legitimately the bottomless of the bottom of the bottom. But I managed to start over and pick my life up and build it in a way that now I'm content, I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm doing amazing things with my life. And I couldn't do that alone. And I can't imagine how some of the people that are alone in that type of world are feeling, right? So I have some compassion and sympathy for it all, having been there myself at one point, And I mean, that was like 12 years ago now, right? I mean, but seriously, it was a huge impactual part in my life that seriously changed everything for me. All right. I could have been a totally different person right now, you know? So my hat kind of, tips to the people who are in the industry of helping those. And I understand why the crime happens because of the world that we're in. And I see where it stems from. People don't just live a completely normal, happy life and then, turn to things like that. Unless they're hanging out with people that are like that, right? And who want to turn those good into bad. So, all right, enough about me. You guys, for those of you that have followed me regularly, y'all already know this. You guys know this. I've been on many lives. I've admitted to my past being, quite hectic, and, what I've lost from it, what has been affected by it, and, what it's done for me then and now, right? Yeah, I saw the Hernandez documentary too. Yeah, he did have it all. That's for sure. So proud of who you are today. Aw, thank you, Yvette. Don't make me cry. But yeah, it's been a long road, you guys. It's not a fun journey. And I chose to deal with those things in a negative way. Had I perhaps have gone for, you know, psychological therapy and stuff from the beginning of when things happened to me that were traumatic, had my parents have enrolled me in something like that after seeing and hearing of sexual abuse and trauma, it may have helped, it may have prevented, but we'll never know because we can't go backwards, right? All the decisions that we sort of make throughout our life, play a part, right? And that is also dependent on your being raised and stuff, right? Hi, Alice. I finally made it to a live. School's been kicking your butt. Aw, girl. I totally understand. In 2016, I enrolled in a legal course and I had to do all my due diligence and all my work online. And it was really hectic. Not to mention that I was working full time at the time. So I was in school full time and I was working full time, and I was just back to back to back work. I barely had any sleep. There were times I didn't even eat because I was so busy, or I'd be eating over my stuff, trying to get my assignments in on time and make sure I passed. So I don't know, Carl. I'd have to grab my schedule. Maybe you could text me about that after. All right. So, are there any places that anybody is living right now that you'd like to know what your crime rate is kind of like this past year or two? I would love to look it up for you. I think it's a very empowering thing to be able to admit to your mistakes. It really does something inside of me when I'm able to say and do these things, right? I'm able to look myself and all of you guys in the mirror and admit to my wrongs. And I mean, if I could go back and redo some of those mistakes and not make them, you bet your arse I would totally do it. Like, I wouldn't hesitate in a second. I think, that saying of, oh, I wouldn't change anything from the past. It's made me who I am today. But if you could be an even better person today than you are even now, wouldn't you want to redo some of those mistakes to prevent some of that hurt towards others? I know I would. But that's just me. Laredo, Texas. Look it up. I wish that I wish the United States had like a stats like what we have in Canada. We have a Statistics Canada site that you can go to. I haven't been able to find that with the United States. Area vibes. What's this? All right. So the total crime in Laredo was, the reported incidents was 7,257 per 100,000 people. Population is 260,654 in Laredo, Texas, just so you're aware. So the murders supposedly was 10. And I mean, you might be somebody having lived there, you might have heard of more than that. So please tell us, does this seem up to date to you? Because like I said, living exactly where I am right now, I know for a fact there were at least 3 people that died from crime, and that's not even on the site at all. In fact, it says 0, and I'm like, what? That's not right. Okay, have a good day, Carl. I'll check my schedule later and we can text. It's kind of good when people have had past addictions so they can have more compassion for others that are going through it. Absolutely true, Alice. And I'm not somebody who judges anybody on anything, actually. I used to when I was younger. At one point in my life, I can remember as a teenager making fun of big people. And then I hit my 20s and I ended up 320 pounds. And it really opened my eyes and taught me not to talk badly about other people, and that it really wasn't very nice, But I think that stemmed particularly from my own bullying when I was a kid, of people calling me big. And so I grew up like it was in the forefront of my head and stuff. And so it really wasn't kind of me. It wasn't kind what I went through, but it wasn't kind of me to, walk in those same shoes, right? So I found it really eye-opening. And ever since then, I've never been a judgmental person. In all honesty, I'm not going to lie. Like, I am not a judgmental person. really. It doesn't matter, who you are, what you do, what your color is, what you believe in. It doesn't, and none of that matters. But I learned that at a young age, and it was pretty profound, we'll just say. So here in Manitoba, it says that in 2018, the actual incidences were 134,987. The rate per 100,000 population was about 9,983 for crime. I honestly feel like the things that happened when I was younger and the lifestyle that I led and the things that I went through in the whole drug world were something that was grooming me to be prepared for later on in life. Having lived through that, I think you're more able to say no than to not live through that and hit the popularity stage where perhaps that might be a larger factor or it's more readily there or something. Having that confidence. Thank you for the panda. Having that confidence, though, to be able to say, been there, done that. I know where it leads to. No thanks. I'm good. Go ahead. You do that without me. You know what I mean? Hi, Amy. How are you doing, honey? As I slide in here in my socks. Sorry, I've been missing you. Oh, you had back surgery? On the mend or meds? TGIS. Thank goodness it's Sherry. Our corny, cute little saying, right? What do y'all think of the hair up? Kind of cute? Messy look? You know? But I certainly have a different appreciation now for life, having been through all the hard times. I realize we're bouncing back and forth between stats, personal chat, and experience, but this is our Sunday live, right? Unstructured, talk about anything, put it on the table type deal. Mend? Well, what is mend, honey? I mean, I saw it say mend, and I'm like, maybe she meant meds. I don't know. Aw, Alice is being literal. Amy, don't slide around. You just had surgery. That's funny. Hi, Billy. How are ya? So glad you could make it. Yay. I'm loving my little ring here. It's really pretty. Yes. Gary says hello. Hi, Gary. So yeah, I think I feel like I've lived a hectic lifestyle. My life and my world now is so much more calm. You guys hear like literally a pin drop in my place. Like there's no more revolving door. There's no more living by the cell phone. I mean that in the sense of that world is just constantly a revolving door, and the phone just never quits. So recovering like on the mend. Oh, okay. I've never heard that saying before. That's really cute. Because it's a Sunday live, it's going to be so unstructured. If you don't stay, you're going to miss something. We jump back and forth on the topics all the time. I see some of you interested, you come in and then you're gone. But wait, now you've missed something. Now you have to come in and backtrack just to hear it. Does anyone have Dish Network? No, 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 no. That's satellite TV, right? Not I. Netflix and chill. Does anybody else have any other places that you want me to check for your crime rates? Because I'd love to look into them. Just give me the place and I will look it up. Thank you for the online love and support. Oh man, I didn't realize we were all the way on. There's normal. Looks much different though on this end. Just saying. You have a dish, Amy? Why, is something going wrong with your dish, Billy? Check out Willis, Texas. Will do. Holy cow! The population is only 6,436. Okay. All right. Let's see what's going on in Willis. Crime analytics. Crime index. Number of crimes is the violent ones is 40. Property crimes is 141, totaling 181. So the crime rate per 1,000 residents is 27.81. That's really high for the amount of people that are there. I imagine that's why you're asking me to look it up. That's crazy. So the total number of rapes was 7, robberies was 6, assaults were 27. Boy, this would be a place that I'd be looking up where the criminals are living. Where are the sex offenders living? United States violent crimes. So the population, okay, look what I just stumbled across here. With the population as we know it, the United States, 327,167,434. There was a reported total number of 16,214 murders, 139,380 rapes, 282,061 robberies, and 807,410 assaults. And that was at a rate per 1,000. That's crazy. That's interesting that they are comparing it to the Willis, or at least Willis is including it in their neighborhood report type thing. So it states that in the United States, with that population of 327 million, there was 1,230,149 burglaries. There were 5,217,055 thefts and 748,841 vehicle thefts. Interesting, huh? What do y'all think of that? Hi, Sean. How are you? Oh, my goodness. Billy, are you able to record that and like email it to me or something? Is technology that good yet? Because I would sure love to check that out. Although at this point, in all honesty, I feel like there's nothing new that's going to come out about that case. Like absolutely nothing. Well, unless they decide to go back and visit him in jail and do another interview. No, you're not able to? Darn it. Close to McKinney, Texas. You want me to check out McKinney? Oops. So based on a population of 189,555 residents as of January 2019, McKinney's 2018 crime rate was 1,199.7 crimes per 100,000 residents. This compares to the city's 2017 crime rates of 1,485.5 crimes, according to the DPS. So I love this neighborhood scout thing, for real. This is a really cool site. Love it. So McKinney's annual crime rates, it states violent ones are 288. Property crimes were 1,980, of course, per 1,000 residents. There were supposedly, with the population 191,645, reported total number of 0 murders, which is amazing. 63 rapes, 77 robberies, and 148 assaults, compared to, of course, the 327 million United States population, 16,214 murders, which really doesn't seem like that high if you compare it to the 327 million. That's not that bad, right? But it's still a lot, right? Like the burglaries and the thefts were like 6 million in total type thing. Hi, Maria's kitty cats. It seems like a lot of people from Texas. Yeah, it does actually. Hey, Alice. That's okay. Maybe people are sharing the channel with their friends and family, and that's what's happening. Be on the Reels channel. 7:00 p.m. on January 25th. Friends speak about the case. Interesting. Hi, Vincina. I know, right, Amy? That's what I was just thinking, reading that. I was like, wow, 0 murders. Well, that's fantastic. Especially with almost 200,000 people living there. Like, that's really good. Still a lot of crime. Yeah, you're right. Dallas is having a murder almost every night. Ooh, I'm going to look that up. That's crazy. Okay. What's the population there now? Oh, I see. The states does the census. But I mean, that's just for population. Dallas, Texas, population 1,345,047. Dallas has a 2019 homicide rate of more than 9.37 victims per 100,000 residents. In Texas cities, murder rates are declining, but Dallas is rising. "40 killings in May." Oh, wow. So now I would like to know what the stats are here. Okay. So number of crimes, 10,441. The violent crimes. The property crimes are 45,100. 155 murders on a population of 1,345,047 people, 830 rapes, 3,991 robberies, and 5,465 assaults. But you can see in general, though, too, yeah, property crime rates have raised from 23 to 33, so they've gone up like 10%. Again, though, like things like that stem from the original base of the problem, right? Which are traumatic and harmful things that have happened to individuals, and we really just have a difficult time trying to figure out how to deal with it. You know, it's really, life is not easy for anybody, especially if you've been through something traumatic, right? I remember when I was in aesthetics class, I took an aesthetics course in 2005, and the teacher that was teaching it was like the happiest, most charismatic, nicest woman you could ever meet, right? And she was telling us that she had literally never, ever, ever been through anything harmful or painful. She'd never broken any bones. She'd never been in any accidents. She'd never been harshly, disciplined by her parents. I mean, she just never been through anything that was painful. And I can remember looking at her like, wow, I wonder what that's like, because that's a lot of all I remember is painful, traumatic, crazy, fanatic, like really anxious type situations. And I just looked at her just baffled, like, wow, I wonder what that feels like. I wonder what she feels like inside. I wonder what her life is like. I really was just shocked. Because I mean, she was like almost 30 years old, and she'd not been through anything, nothing traumatic. And I was like, whoa, that's intense, you know? Nicest woman you'd ever meet. Super chill, super awesome woman. But I was just shocked that she'd never been through anything traumatic or harmful or pain or loss or nothing. Like crazy. Most of us lived through something like that before we hit the age of 10, you know? And I mean, those types of things, they really shape you as an individual, right? As much as we try to fight it and just maybe even embrace it, like, okay, that was a moment and a time and a place, and it's over and it's done with, and this is how we're going to go forward and deal with it. But if nobody teaches you those things and you're just sort of left on your own to just deal with it, it's really not an easy situation, which is why I have so much compassion for people in those situations. I don't know. I think I'm a pretty compassionate type person, though, because of the things I've been through, you know? Gianna Marie, I'm definitely going to look up this Wineta. I'm probably not even saying it right, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. Okay, so the overall crime rate there is 9% lower than the national average for every 100,000 people. There are 6.4 daily crimes that occur in Winnetka. Did I say that right? It's safer than 47% of the cities in California. You have a 1 in 43% chance of becoming a victim of any crime. Very interesting. Let's check out the stats here. Winnetka median real estate price. Oh, this in LA, California. That's pretty cool that your rents are lower than 53% of California neighborhoods. That's really cool. Sounds like an affordable place to live for sure. Neighborhood 37.7 of the working population is employed in sales and service jobs, from major sales accounts to working in fast food restaurants. Second most important occupational group in this neighborhood is executive management and professional occupations, with 26.6% of residents employed. Other residents here are employed in manufacturing and labor occupations, 13% in clerical assistant and tech support occupations. That's pretty cool. I just wanted to see the crime stats, but okay. 67 statistics of crime. That's crazy how houses are like $500,000 plus nowadays. Does anybody else think that's insane? But I will get there. I'm going to be a homeowner one day. I've done a lot of thinking in that department, to be honest with you. I actually thought one time in my life I would probably be a renter for the rest of my life. But now I actually want to be a homeowner. I actually want to have my own oasis, my own backyard with amazing garden space and like fountains and prettiness. And just like when you walk out in the backyard, it just feels like you're in another place. I would love to have the tranquility and the quietness of a home owning situation, you know? You wonder if it's true. So are you thinking, have you heard that it's more, there's more crime there? Maybe you live there, Gianna Marie, and you're stating that you've heard of more crime there than what's listed. Is that true? Hi, Clifton Brown. Thank you for the compliment. Amy, I was so blessed with a good, loving mom and dad, 3 sisters. There was no shortage of love in our house. Aw, you are so lucky. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that for you, honey. That's not the case in many, 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 many homes. Aw, Amy, agreeing with Clifton. You're so sweet. Stop. You're so sweet. Follow your dreams will come true. I know, right? I mean, my whole hashtag motto 2020 is we are going to be successful. It's coming. I can feel it. I know all this hard work is going to pay off. It's already starting to. So I'm super stoked that 2020 might actually be a good year for me, you know? I've done a lot of hard work to get here, so I'm hoping that it's going to be a decent year. For most of you that know me, you know that I'm very ready to go whenever the time happens. Let's just go. You know, this world has been pretty harsh, and situations that have happened to me have been traumatic and difficult to deal with, especially not having the right tools to even understand or comprehend why something like this would happen or what to do when something traumatic happens. But you know what? You grow up, you live and learn, you look into help yourself, and you figure it out eventually. That's not to say you're not going to make a ton of mistakes along the way like I did, but hopefully you come out normal and happy and trying to be the best you can be. And that's where I'm at in my life, is I'm just trying to be the best me I can be. I'm trying to be the change I want to see in the world by accepting people, you know, by not judging people. What's up, Fire Cam? What's wrong? You just thought you'd halt the whole live? What's up, dude? For real. Yes, I remember you. Welcome to the live. You do know that's what you did, though, right? I know you know that, actually. But yes, I think that it's never too late or too early to start dreaming about what you want to be. And that whole, you know, if you can see it in your life, like if you can envision it, you can make it happen. You know what I mean? It's that whole attraction, the law of attraction, and what you see for your life and what you want for yourself. If you envision it, dress for the role that you are wanting, type thing, it'll happen. Trust me, it's going to happen. There have been so many things across my years of life that I've created for it to be a thing for me. And I'm happy to share those things with you guys, you know? Nothing wrong with making mistakes, that's for sure. And that's something that was really difficult for me to grasp. Like, because those mistakes affected so many other people, I still find there are days that my depression kicks in and I feel absolutely dreadful and like the worst human on the face of the earth because of the mistakes that I've made and who it has all affected. And I literally just sometimes have the most issues with just trying to self-soothe in a sense and say it's okay, forgive yourself and move on, because you can't go backwards. You can't change what you did and the choices that you made in the past. So those are some of the things that I had a really hard time with. I was stuck almost. And there's still some days that I still look back and I'm stuck in a sense. I pull myself back out of it and try to be positive and keep pushing forward because, you know, looking backwards isn't going to do anything. It's not going to change anything, right? So as much as I remember all of those things and what it's affected, I'm also pushing forward for the person that I want to be in this world. I would love to leave a legacy behind for my children so that they always know that I never, ever, ever forgot them, that I love them with all my heart. And despite my mistakes and errors that affected them, I honestly wish I could have gone back in time to fix it, to not make those mistakes. But I can't, you know, so all I can hope for is to be a better me in the future and, you know, leave something behind for them to show them that I honestly cared the entire time. I was pushed out of the picture by government, by family, but that was their choices, right? They're the ones that are going to have to live with that, not me. I made my choices. I have to live with those. I also bettered myself by making positive choices that didn't change anything. That's something else that y'all should know, is that not every choice is actually going to have a positive outcome to it. Sometimes there's no outcome. Sometimes it's a self outcome. It was good for only you to go through that to better yourself. But again, you don't know these things going into them. So you figure it out at the end of it, what that was actually useful for. The journey sometimes is the hardest part, right? So, hi, King Shavers. I didn't show the outfit of the day. I can, though. Outfit of the day. I'm just being comfy today. My back brace on, of course. But just a comfy day. I even have my slippers on still. My pink slippers. Yeah, I love this blouse, though. It's so, like, there's different patterns on it. It's so cute, don't you think? It even has some pink in it. I thought I dropped something, but this right here, this whole line is actually pink. Like I caught it in the mirror. I was doing something. I thought I dropped like a bit of my makeup, and I looked down and I'm like, oh, look, this is pink. I don't think I ever really noticed it was pink. So yeah, there's the outfit of the day for everybody. Love the backside of the shirt. It's super cool, right? I love that it has stripes on here, but then there's different, you know, patterns on the front. So. Keep looking forward. Tomorrow is another day. You got that right, Yvette. That's so true. Hi, Francis Buck. I'm sorry I missed you up there. Good afternoon. No, and you know what? Don't let anybody else tell you where you're at in life or what you're doing is wrong, because everybody's journey is their own, right? And what you do and all your choices, good or bad, you know, they'll affect somebody, right? I mean, north of LA, Are they Avia? No, they're Lululemons, actually, Sean. Gianna Marie, are you asking me to look up a certain place in LA? Because if you are, I definitely need a little bit more than just north of LA. Like, if you have like a place, that would be more helpful. Francis says, at 60 years old, you can't change the past or feel guilty. But as you become wiser, your thoughts of mistakes are truly in the past. They really are, you know, and I mean, I'll never forget them, and I'll never ever forget who it all affected. And the only thing I can do is move forward and try to be a better person today. So every day, you know, is a new opportunity to better yourself. And, you know, that's kind of where I'm at, is what can I do today to better myself? What can I learn today? What, you know, what calmness can I bring to my life today? Because my life was not always like that, you know? It hasn't always been like this, is what I'm trying to say, where it's nice and quiet and calm, serene and comfy. I literally got here with nothing, literally nothing. I had a backpack with some clothes and a little bit of makeup, and that's it. And I have slowly, over the 5 years I've lived here, built up my home to be the place that I enjoy staying and being at, you know? I couldn't have even made it to this point had I not have gone through all the past experiences that brought me out of that, you know, the help and the support and the programs and the things that I went through to better myself, which the government has a copy of all of that, but none of it mattered. None of it mattered, and none of it helped in getting my children and family back together. Let me just tell you guys that, okay? Sometimes the government has an opposite agenda to the parents. And it's not always their intention to reunite the family together. And that was something that was so eye opening. Like, I did not realize that we weren't always in process of that particular path. I really anticipated my children coming back home, and that never happened. And that was probably one of the most difficult things I've ever had to deal with. I mean, the bond that you have when you carry a child and you deliver that child birth and breastfeeding, and the bond that you share through midnight feedings and sometimes illnesses once they get their shots, and different things that happen as a parent, you know, those bonds will never ever be broken. But that's not to say that the people that came in to sort of tear that apart, that's not to say that they're ever going to want to help you build that back together. In fact, it benefits them more to have the families separated, to have the funding for each child. It benefits them more to keep the families apart. One of the most difficult things I ever had to deal with was knowing that that was never going to be a thing again. I was never going to be a parent again. I was never going to have my children back at home to do meals and concerts and outings and activities and shopping trips and gifts and Christmases and none of that. So I mean, for anybody who's currently going through that situation with the government, and that includes North America with CPS, because they are just as bad as Canada's CFS. My heart seriously goes out to you. And if anybody needs to talk, I could be that very understanding listening ear for you. And I don't mind at all. I honestly think that piece of it made me stay stuck a hell of a lot longer than anything else. You know, I really was stuck that we were going to be a family back again. And that was just not ever in the cards. In fact, that was out of the cards a year after they were taken. And I didn't realize it until 2012. That's how shady the entire system was and still is, but whatever. I don't care to voice that. It's the truth. And if they don't like that mirror so close in their face, well, then maybe they should change their ways. That's how I feel about that. Let's read some of these. So you had a dream to write a book about NDE. What's NDE? 4 minutes. What I experienced in the light of seeing loved ones who passed away years ago. Almost done. You, Sherry, a sweet lady. Okay, well, thank you for the compliment, but I'm definitely wondering what this book was about. We all make mistakes, girl. Me too. Aw, Gianna Marie. Well, thank you for relating. It comforts me to know that people, have gone through this exact same thing. And we are almost like a little bit of a family, the people who have been through these traumatic situations with government agencies ripping apart families. And that's not to say that my particular family didn't need a little bit of help. I did. I was dealing with things in a really, really negative, wrong way. I did need some help. But what I didn't need was to go and get that help and have it mean absolutely nothing to them because their agenda was stuck on funding and finances regarding my children, right? So you have such a great outlook. Keeping the faith, this is going to be our year, TGIS 2020. Thank goodness it's Sherry. I will listen if you need to talk. Goes both ways, girlfriend. Aw, that's so sweet of you. Thank you, Amy. Much love, girl. Francis says, being true, honest, and be you. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. I used to care what everyone said about me. It was so painful. So blessed I'm not in that world anymore. Love ya. Yes. No crying, Billy. I'm going to stay strong. No, but really it's a topic that I've been discussing now for literally 11 years plus. So it's something that I'm very, conscious of, and I'm not somebody who's going to run away from admitting any of my mistakes. I have made some. I'm human. Many people make many mistakes. I'm just somebody who's able to admit it and say, here, I'm a lending hand. If you do need somebody to talk to, or you need some help in whatever area, I could help you research where you need to go for help. I could help you look into where you can get programs or get some extra help from. So if you're somebody that's going through something on your own somewhere and you're here for a reason. Maybe you're listening to this for a reason. Maybe there is something going on in your life and you don't know what to do about it. And it does sort of line up with some of this. I don't mind being that helping hand for anybody. So please reach out if that's the case. Are you watching Chris Watts' movie next Saturday? Is it on cable? Because, like I said, I got rid of the cable package. It jumped up like $200, and I'm not paying $200 to sit on my butt and watch TV. Sorry. It's not worth that. I'm sorry. Near-death experience. Oh, that's so cool, Amy. It was more like a death experience. Nothing near about it. Oh, interesting. Sorry, I was trying to yell. That's okay. You were not trying to yell. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't know. Where is it on? It's on Lifetime? Yeah, that's definitely cable. So unless they have that registered somewhere on like the internet where I can pop on and check it out, I probably won't get a chance to see it. But hey, if anybody has a way for me to see it, please, pass it on over. I would love to watch it. No word of a lie. I just want to warm up my coffee because it's gotten a little chill. So I'll be right back, okay? can't stand it when my coffee goes a little chilly, you know? It's like, ugh. Somebody said it was on Reels. Oh, no. Yeah, that's on the satellite, actually. I don't have that either, hun. Billy. That was me. Poor Billy. Not interested in the movie, Yvette says. Prefer the documentary instead. Colorado Killer Dad. Is that available online? Investigation Discovery. Man, I missed that channel. May 16th, 2019. Family Killer. Documentary about the murder will air on Lifetime in January. Darn. Yeah. I don't have that anymore, folks. Like I said, I wasn't going to pay hundreds of dollars just to have cable, you know? Although I have thought about going to the competitor and saying, like, hey, do you guys have a bundle deal? Because I would switch if you had a bundle deal. But I need to be able to keep my same phone number. I've had the number for like literally 8 years, so I'm not changing it. Oh, so nice and warm. Love it. Thank you for the little dress. I wish it was real, not just a little emoji thing. I'm going to look that up. Reels Now is an on-demand online video service offered through participating TV providers that gives you the freedom to watch TV streaming live. Access the full episodes of your favorite Reels show when you want to watch them. Reels Now. Interesting. Let's see this. This app is incompatible with all my devices. Well, what the fiddle? Ugh. Does it never have it doesn't even ever have all the devices. It's like, seriously. Reels channel. Well, yeah. I can't get it. View website. I'm gonna email them though. And be like, hey, when are you gonna add your stuff online? Okay, I won't sound like that. It's taking so long. Stupid thing sometimes. I really need to clean this darn thing out. Cleaned it a little bit, but like, come on. Sheesh. Okay. Does anybody know if this is available anywhere online, this Reels channel? Like, is it on maybe Reddit or anywhere? can't spell today. My short-term memory loss. Okay, Dory. Escape. Oh, I'm just bugging you, Amy. Aw, well, thank you, Billy. You're so sweet. And there's Amy. Well, thank you, Billy. That was awesome. Very well done, Amy. I love it. That's awesome. Hey, Cold Hard Truth News. Crime is going up in New York City. It's nuts. Let's check it out. Crime statistics, New York City government. Police Department of New York. Now, this is kind of what I was hoping to find for everywhere. Okay. Complete stat report covering, so week to date. 2-year, 10-year, 27-year. Oh, please. If they think that in 27 years they're going to be able to knock that down 92%, they're going to need to put martial law in effect and for that to happen. I wonder if I just premonitioned that. No. Only 5? Okay, so only 8 murders in 2019? This doesn't seem right. 62 rapes, 397 robberies. What's the population? $8.623 million? That's definitely not a correct stat. That can't be right at all. Grand larceny, only 1,327. Burglary, 368. Felony assault, 624. Shooting victims, 23. Like, that's definitely wrong. Definitely. You guys want to see what I'm looking at? I'll send the link. Because this cannot be correct. It looks like it could be, but it doesn't sound like it. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Honestly, Dory was my favorite character in Finding Nemo. How could you not like Dory, right? She's trying to talk to the whale. Sorry. I'm just like, that was just hilarious. Hi, Judy. How are you? I love it when you make us laugh, Billy. That's honestly like one of the best ways to warm up my heart. You know, I just love it when I think Billy's married. He's just being a sweetheart. He's a good man, a good soul. But I certainly love the genuine interaction that we have that creates for that genuine laughter. You know, it's not like we're sitting in a moment and it's like, ah, ha, 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 yeah, that was funny, just because you're wanting to laugh and like fill the air. It's genuine, and I love that. You know. Happy Sunday to you too, Judy. But yeah, this whole stat for NYC doesn't seem right. It seems like it's off, you know? And really, in all honesty, like it's only covering like a week. So if there's already 3 murders in the week, there's no way that year to date there was only 8 in 2019. No, like there was 24 in Winnipeg where I live. Like, come on. Oh boy. I did want to thank my viewers, you guys, for having helped me create an amazing platform that we don't tolerate bullying, right? We've had a few moderators since 2017 that have come in and helped sort of clean up it not being allowed to be a bully here on my channel. You know, that people are able to say and speak their mind about whatever, even if you're disagreeing on the topic, right? Or the video at hand, right? Even if you disagree, there's a classy way to disagree, and there's a classy way to rebuttal, and there's a classy way to sort of state your opinion without bullying and attacking and ganging up on somebody else to make it right. And so I just wanted to thank all of you guys who come to join me here on the channel, and how much that you've helped support that is what I'm trying to do. I'm somebody who was bullied when I was younger. I know what that's like. I'm somebody who turned into a bully in my teens. I know what that's like. Neither end of it is nice, and nobody deserves that, right? We're all humans. We're all just trying to figure out what's the right and wrong things to do in life. And, we all have different choices to make and whatnot. But I have always stated that because of my background, I did not want to have a platform that allowed stuff like that. I don't want people, I want people to feel comfortable if they want to disagree or they want to state a very different opinion. I want them to feel okay to do that, right? Even if we disagree about it, there's ways to go about doing that in a mature fashion versus some other channels that have had a lot of bullying and attacking of their viewers or commentators. You might not even be a regular viewer to the channel, but you comment something that's off to the topic, and that the majority perhaps is all for something, and you come in being against it, and then everybody gangs up on them and just kills it. Like, that's just not okay with me, and I don't want to have that type of platform, and I couldn't do this without you guys. So the fact that so many of you come in, and yes, we laugh and we chat about various topics, but you're able to express yourselves openly and honestly without having that attached to it. Because who needs to be attacked and bullied? Really, nobody. Like, that's not helpful at all. It doesn't do anything good. I mean, seriously, for either or. I mean, I can remember when I was the bully, I felt like a POS when I was finished bullying. I really didn't feel like a very nice person. I didn't like that person, and I ended up growing out of that. I became a mother very young, and, it sort of changed my trajectory and whatnot, my path. I'm doing pretty good today after a week of tests at the hospital. Thanks. Making a 15-bean soup in your crock pot. Yum. Made a dozen vegan waffles. Okay, now you're making me hungry, Judy. But that's amazing. I'm so happy that you have the crock pot. Those are so helpful, right? You have a busy day, you just throw everything in there with your spices and just leave it on low. By the time dinner comes, it's done. Love it. Who doesn't love a good crock pot, right? Although with the whole like bean thing, like, I don't like the ones that get you gassy. So I love chilies and stuff like that, but I have yet to fully research which beans are the ones that do that because I don't like that. Who does? Gianna Marie, about your question, Chris Watts didn't kill anyone in the house. The question is really an honest one because of the fact that we have no full picture. We don't have all the evidence. We don't know everything that the police did. We have bits and pieces to it. And in all honesty, had we have gotten the GPS coordinates of Nicole Kessinger, we may have found out that she was actually inside the home. We know for sure she was in Frederick, but there's so many questions. It's really, really difficult to figure it all out. Now, Judy, I believe we've been talking about we've been talking about the video being chopped or I would really love to see what it is that you're seeing, is what I'm trying to say. I can't really complete my sentence right now properly, but I want to know, what's gotten you to that point. I want to see what you've seen so that I can check it out. I honestly feel like the first person that left the Watts garage wasn't Chris Watts. It didn't look like Chris Watts. I didn't see any footage, and I have all the evidence that was released to the public from Weld County. I have all of it. And I've never seen any footage of Christopher Watts like in a marching stance, lifting his knees up, like you say. So I'm really curious to get some of the footage that you are looking at in order to see what you're seeing, to be able to discuss it more. Because I don't know what you've seen. I can't even picture it. And I've looked through this evidence. I've been through these case files at least 3 times now, for my own research, for the research with you guys, and for reference checking it. So I'm just like, well, where was that? Because I didn't see that. And I would love to see what you're seeing. I feel like I can't really even answer the question properly, not being able to see what you're seeing, I love that, Billy. I love her as a friend. That's so sweet. Thank you. Aw, Judy, I see no reason to give you guys fluff or fake. There's no reason to give you fake. I really do try to put on a happy, positive front. That doesn't mean that that's how I feel all the time. And some of you have witnessed my depression and my tears and my issues, right? We all have issues. We all have things we're dealing with. So I appreciate that you notice that I'm honest. I mean, even if somebody else is bringing up fluff, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I've looked through all of this and I didn't see any of that. And I've contacted Weld County and there isn't any new information coming out. And there is no doctor that's going to release anything in regards to Chris Watts, because it's going to follow that doctor back. They're going to be able to figure out which doctor it was. There aren't 15 doctors dealing with Chris Watts. There's 1, maybe 2. So both would be in trouble if anything got leaked. I see no reason to create extra fluff for no reason, just to fool some of you or to make the whole case seem worse than it is. It's already bad enough, and there's enough stuff in it that doesn't make any sense. There's no need to pull in false information, false documentation, and false commentary. I don't agree with it. To each their own. If that's how other creators want to run their channels, that's up to them, right? That's why this platform is so awesome, because it lets you do what you want to do. You are allowed to sort of make and create whatever you want, and it's yours, right? So yeah, I like to pride myself on truth, because there's just no reason to lie. And lies will eventually catch up. Like there's no way it's not going to stumble into more lies and, more deceit. So Judy says, I think it was a mind control sacrifice by evil people. Actually, affect news channels so that it was that when it said that when it happened. You see, I don't know. Like I said, to each their own and what they want to think and stuff like that. And it's sad that Weld County gets to pick what the information and what information is public. That sucks. It sucks that you can't do an application and actually get back all the information that was in it. That part really sucks. They get to choose what we see. They get to choose what they release. And a lot of it really was unimportant. It was nice to see the due diligence of the flyer passing out and the neighbor questioning. And it was nice to have sort of those pieces to go on. Some of the stuff that was really not important and I don't think was necessary for the public to even look at was the Trent Bolt stuff and his boyfriend and these lies and the interview with his mom. And like they found out that it was all a lie. So why then release the bulk of that information to the public, making it look as though they've released information to the public when in fact it was nothing even pertinent to the case at all. And so that part is a little bit disappointing. Hi, Izzy Lucier. That part's disappointing because as the public, we would like to think that once we go through the proper procedures to get the information, that we are privy to what they saw and what they investigated and what they wrote down and their due diligent work and stuff. And that isn't the case. It's more along the lines of what they want to release to the public, what looks good in their favor, and, you know, not necessarily just the bulk of the information at hand. So you think it was all about money, Gianna Marie? Yeah, I think it was definitely, I think that Chris Watts was feeling like he was drowning in debt with his mortgage being behind in months of payments and the credit card debts. And I think that, you know, he felt overwhelmed. And then the pay cut that he had to take in order to retain his job versus starting over somewhere else was also a huge factor in their relationship, right? And that affected the family as a whole, right? I can see Shanann, the fact that she really wanted to be a contributor to the family. It was very, very noticeable that she was a go-getter, you know, but she was going about that, in my opinion, a little bit in the wrong way, because those MLM businesses are really great, in my opinion, for getting products that you would love to be able to use regularly, but that you would not want to pay full price for, right? They're not so good at padding your pockets with cash. It's really, you know, she would have, in my opinion, she would have been much further ahead had she have had a part-time job somewhere and the MLM thing. But she only had the MLM thing and being the mom at home, right? So that was a contributing factor financially that I think, you know, affected the family, you know? And then, of course, the affair. When you add in another spice into the marriage, which was the mistress, I believe that was the beginning of the end. You know, when you start to turn away from your marriage and you're turning to someone else for that communication and comfort, you're going to naturally build a bond, you know? And it just so happened that Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts happened to build a heinous bond. And it's unfortunate that nobody chose to stop that. I do believe that she is 100% just as guilty as Chris Watts. She might as well have wrapped her own hands around, you know, Shanann's neck. She might as well have snuffed the kids out herself because she knew about it. I know she knew about it. There's no way that those two people spent hours and days and weeks on end sleeping together 5-6 times a day and no conversation about his family and his life and the kids and his problems ever came up. That's just not that. I'm sorry, but I can guarantee you that conversation definitely happened, you know? And so the fact that she knew about it, didn't do anything to stop it, was so shady in covering up much of it and deleting a lot of her relationship with Chris. Just none of it made any sense. And it all adds up to her being an accomplice. But we don't have any more information. The case has been closed. And in all honesty, you guys, those petitions, I told you guys, those petitions were never working properly. I signed all 3 petitions for Nicole Kessinger to get re-questioned and polygraphed and what was the other thing? That she wasn't going to profit from the crime. Those were the 3 petitions. I signed all 3 of them. When I went back to go check the status of those petitions, my signature was suddenly gone and the site was asking me to re-sign, which doesn't happen on animal petitions because I do sign those regularly too. When you want to support something or you want something to happen, a great way to go about making it happen is a petition, right? So, I mean, helping animals that are endangered. I've often signed those petitions. I've gone back to check those petitions. And there's never been a time on any of those petitions that it's asked me to re-sign. In fact, if you try, it'll tell you you can't. But yet the petitions in Nicole Kessinger's situation were so jumbled, it didn't even matter if you signed it or not. It wasn't tallying properly. Nothing was going to happen with it. And that was done, in my opinion, purposefully. By who? I don't know, but whatever. The whole point of it is she's definitely gotten away with not stopping a heinous crime that wiped 4 people off the planet, and that, in my opinion, should have been enough, that she was sentenced something, that she was proven guilty for something. Her whole lying all the way through everything was not helpful. Anyways, so it sucks that we have to deal with it now like this and sort of just let it go and let bygones be bygones. And karma will get her eventually, or she'll end up in another relationship where someone else ends up dead and we'll, get her the next time or some crap like that. It kind of sucks, but whatever. There's really nothing we can do about it because we've done everything we can do. And because that's been halted and stopped, there's really nowhere else to go but, okay, Nicole, you win for now, but let's see if you mess up at all in the future then. Let's see what happens later. Chris definitely knows the real truth. Oh, I totally hear you, Judy. You just noticed the Christmas tree's gone? I told you guys last live. Was it the last one? No, I think it was the one before that. I was like, hey, this is going to be the last live with the Christmas tree. But if you want open and honest, it's not that far. I stuck it up there for now because I haven't had any time because I've been work. I stuck it up there. I'm like, I seriously have not had any time to go ahead and take it all apart and put everything away and stick it up in the closet. I'm like, oh, man. Oh, boy. So there's my open, honest moment. Haven't really gotten rid of the Christmas tree. It's just hiding. Oh, well. We'll get to it eventually. Besides, it kind of just whatever. It fits, so it's fine. You forgot? That's okay. I forget things all the time. I, too, love animals. Hi, Rajesh. You're a good woman. The same with poor Kelsey Barrett. Oh, man. Yeah, but I mean, at least there's going to be some sentencing that's coming for Crystal Lee Kinney. I mean, at least they are recognizing that she had something to do with this. Like, so it is what it is. And hey, the people who have sort of swept this under the rug, well, swept it under the rug, can't talk properly. To each their own. Everybody's going to be held accountable one day, You've been waiting on pins and needles for the results. I honestly feel like it's not going to be anything too lenient. It's going to be fitting, I see the judge being very realistic, right? Crystal Lee Kinney had 3 opportunities when Patrick Frazee, whatever, solicited her to do the job for him, right? So she had 3 opportunities to help save Kelsey Barrett's life, and she chose to help him clean it up after it was done. I've been a secretary in my life. That's funny you say that, Rajesh. But yeah, at least she's going to get some type of punishment. Nicole Kessinger's basically just walked away scot-free. whether or not there was any money transferring because of this, whether or not there was any ignoring of evidence or whatnot, or biasness, I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to know fully. I think they realize that they messed up and the public is seeing it. I think they realize even with what they did release, it looks really suspect on Nicole. But to each their own again. Like, we can't control other people's choices and decisions. We can only make our own. So, each individual in this case that's involved in each one of these cases have had their opportunity to make their decisions that affected somebody, right? Again, this goes back to the whole what you do, right? Hi, Bethany. How are you? It's Nancy. Oh, you changed your name again. You've officially moved. Yay! Whoop, whoop. You've officially moved. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so curious. Nancy, have you heard anything from Jen? Big $1 million question. I suspect no. But yeah, we're pretty much going to wrap this up now because it's Sunday and I have a bunch of stuff I need to do. I got laundry I need to get in, and can't seem to get it under my account. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's sad that some people need to go about hurting others the way that she did, but hey, to each their own, I often say. I meant on my test results, the doctors. Not Chris Kessinger. That's funny. I know you meant to say Chris Watts, but that's funny. Trying to be positive. Yeah. You know what? Sometimes it's hard, but no, I've not heard from Jen. Yep. No, not at all. And haven't gotten anything in the mail either from her. So I think it's pretty safe to say. Oh, Crystal Lee Kenny is KK, Judy. Because her Crystal's Krystal. Crystal Lee Kenny, that's KK. Anyways, no, I definitely haven't heard anything from her. I haven't gotten anything in the mail, which means it was a big fat ruse, which I feel sorry for her to feel like she has to go about scamming people or hurting others or whatever her intention was, because it certainly wasn't to be honest and have a nice little Christmas exchange, So, but to each their own, and whatever. It's her choice, right? Choices. You forgot. Oh, that's okay. I miss say names all the time. I just thought that when you were commenting there, you meant Chris Kessinger, and I was just like, that's funny. Chrisinger, we could call him that. Chrisinger. Oh boy. Yeah, go check the beans. I definitely have to make something for dinner. I think I'm going to do a steak and some veggies. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the Sunday. And hey, if you enjoyed the chat, give it a like. It does help the YouTube algorithms to get my page and channel noticed. So I would greatly appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't yet subscribed to me, well, please hit the subscribe button. We have a lot of interactive conversations, and I would love to have all of you join regularly. Please share the channel with your friends and family and your social media accounts. Let's get more people interested in the true crime channel and the true stories that we talk about here. And true stories are literally like anything true we talk about. So could be missing people, could be natural disasters, could be survivors, could be crime. But if it's a true story, and I've heard about it, I'm all over it. Love the laughs, Billy. Couldn't do this without you guys. You guys seriously rock. Like, I just love all of y'all. And I'm just love having you guys all join. So thank you. If you want to be notified anytime I make a post, you'll have to click the notification bell. Drop down will show you some options as to how many notifications you want to be notified for. And YouTube does check in and see, if that's happening. So I would love to be able to tell them it's working amazingly. If you click that notification bell, select the all, then you'll never miss a thing. But I seriously thank you for all the likes. We're going to be back on Wednesday at 6 p.m. We've literally only got maybe 15 case files left in the Weld County case. So if you are interested in finishing up seeing what Weld County released as public information in regards to that case, please join us at 6 p.m. Central Time. Right here on the YouTube channel. And then we'll be back again face to face Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time to do our random chitty chat times and hang out and enjoy some laughs. And I just love having all of y'all. So thank you for joining. It's been a wonderful day and it's been an awesome conversation. I hope you guys all have a great rest of the weekend and an amazing week. And I'll see you guys again soon for another true story with me, Sherry Wiens. Bye for now, folks.